In the realm of wildlife photography, bird photography may be one of the most exciting and rewarding genres. And the reason why, it's pretty accessible because birds are everywhere. And because of that, that's what brings me to the Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge in southern Florida to photograph birds. This is an amazing place. Here you have birds that flip from tree to tree. You've got wading birds, you've got waterfowl like ducks, you've got raptors like osprey that fly around, and so there's a lot of different subjects you can take. And so sometimes it can be overwhelming. What pictures do you take of birds to make sure you capture them in all their essence? Well, I've got 3 tips I'm going to share with you that'll help you with that challenge. When I was walking along this trail, I saw a couple of rails feeding in the shallow water, so I wanted to stop and take a picture. And that brings me to my first rule. These guys were moving around a lot, and I didn't get a chance to take any kind of behavior shots. But rule number 1 is just get a shot of the animal. I call it my yearbook shot, or my catalog shot, because I want a good representative picture of that species before I try to get any kind of behavior. The behavior is great, but the first thing I want to do is get a good, well-composed, as tight a shot as I can picture of the bird, being mindful of the background when I can, and trying to get a great background. Something you'd be proud to hang on the wall, like a portrait, or again, a yearbook picture. After I get my yearbook shot, the next thing I want to concentrate on is getting shots of behavior. And that behavior in birds can be all kinds of different things. It may be preening early in the morning. It may be stretching its wings out to try to catch the sun, maybe flying from tree to tree, maybe interacting with other birds, it may be feeding, it may be doing all kinds of things. But again, once I get my yearbook shot, the next thing I want to concentrate on are trying to get pictures of that behavior. And so sometimes that means passing up pictures of maybe other birds because you're concentrating on one bird and waiting for it to do something. But to help round out that bird portfolio, again, you get a yearbook shot first. Secondly, you start looking for some kind of behavior and start to document that. And if you start following this in that kind of logical order each time, you're really going to be rewarded with some great bird photos. Aside from that classic yearbook pose and behavioral shots, the third thing I'm really going to concentrate on doing when I'm taking bird photos is to really try to tell the big picture, tell the whole story. You know, each individual bird has their own unique habitat in which they live, and so it's important for me to capture all elements of that habitat. So when I'm taking pictures of birds in their habitat, I'm going to take pictures of things like wide angle shots of the habitat themselves, maybe close-up shots of the plants, some of the things they're going to eat, and just try to tell a whole picture and take a photojournalistic approach to telling the story of that animal species or the birds in general or an area in general. You know, all movies are made with 3 basic shots: wide, medium, close. And so next time you're out taking bird pictures, I encourage you to do that. Carry a couple extra lenses with you, take the wide shots, tell the whole story about that bird species or the series of birds, and tell that story about where those birds live.